Who are you? And why are you here? Have you ever stopped to ask yourself? Or do these questions scare you so much that you do all you can possibly do to avoid ever finding out? In a constant state of doing, so that we can have more and more and more, many of us find our lives slipping away in scarcity, thinking that we never have enough, so we must continue doing to fill that void which is so desperately calling out to us. If only we knew the truth and the reality that it is through our being that all we have ever desired can find its way to us. It is through our being that that void will be no more. It is through our being that we can be reminded of the connection that we have to the all and to the everything. It is through our being that we find ourselves complete. This mandala piece, created using acrylic paint cones and the most gorgeous iridescent rhinestones, is based on the Crown Chakra, the final chakra of the 7 energy centers located within the human being. This chakra sits at the crowns of our heads and controls our connection to spirit, as well as our sense of universal consciousness, wisdom, unity, and self-knowledge. The beautiful violets you see in this mandala piece represent the colours of the Crown Chakra, reflecting the colours' connection to spirituality and enlightenment. These colours fill my soul with so much joy, especially when they're caught in the sunlight, as you will have seen earlier on in this video. I created this mandala to remind us of the power we have as human beings, that we have been given everything by God to return to the completeness and wholeness that we once knew, before this world made us forget. For those of us on the spiritual path, which we all are in one way or another, regardless of whether we know it or not, after all, we are spiritual beings having a human experience for a while, and not the other way round. You could say enlightenment is the goal, represented by the Crown Chakra. But what even is enlightenment, and how do we get there? Isn't enlightenment just reserved for prophets and messengers and saints and spiritual masters? To that I say no. Every great human being that became enlightened was exactly that, a human being. Just like you, just like me. The path is available to us all should we wish to embark upon it. And each journey is as unique to us as to how unique each of us is as human beings. No two humans are the same, no two paths are the same, but they all take us to the same place. Great Indian mystic and spiritual master Osho said, "One thing, you have to walk and create the way by your walking. You will not find a ready-made path. It is not so cheap to reach to the ultimate realization of truth. You will have to create the path by walking yourself. The path is not ready-made, lying there and waiting for you. It is just like the sky. The birds fly, but they don't leave any footprints. You cannot follow them. There are no footprints left behind." I feel the path to enlightenment is not so much a becoming, but rather a returning to the complete consciousness we had before our souls chose to have this human experience. But as human beings who've been conditioned and imprinted upon from our very conception in the womb to our entry into this world, the whole journey of returning is our biggest battle. From the moment we are born, so many labels are thrust upon us: name, race, culture, religion, but to name a few. We take on our parents' trauma and conditioning. We are thrown into the social order and into the education system, which breeds us to live our life in boxes. Not human beings, mere numbers, robots, machines, here to serve the powers that be that don't have any interest in the betterment of humanity. The only interest they have is the increase of numbers in their bank accounts. We are taught to fit in, to follow everyone else, to never step outside the lines, to follow the life plan set out before us. We are conditioned to think a certain way, act a certain way, look a certain way, be a certain way. The world with all this noise drowns out our inner voice of truth, which is always trying its best to return us to the truth we once knew. It takes work, real work, to return, to undo the conditioning, to reparent ourselves, to delve into our shadows and transform them to light, to step outside of the social order and relearn life for ourselves. For many of us who choose to do so, it is a lifelong work with glimpses of enlightenment. The freedom, joy, peace and unity experienced in the process makes the arduous process worth it. And it is possible. It is possible for all of us. I want you to know that. Although I have read and learned about the enlightened beings throughout history, nothing compares to being in the company of one. And I had this opportunity through my spiritual master, an enlightened Sufi saint from Senegal, who showed me truly what it meant to be in this world, but not of this world. And the main things that are coming to me today as I share this with you is just how present and still he was. He was the eye of the storm. He was the tree that bends but never breaks. He represented freedom and peace and justice and liberation in all its many forms. He was completely connected, completely present, completely free of his conditioning, and in this state he was completely and selflessly devoted to the service and the betterment of humanity. My spiritual master, Sheikh Ali Ndao, said, "We must first be in order to do, in order to have." Profound words in a time where we are constantly pushed to do in order to have, in order to be. For me, this is enlightenment, and this is the goal. To empty yourself of yourself so you can shine your light on humanity and be in service to the whole. And the answers to this lie in stillness and in silence and in returning to being. May we all make the choice to return to being. May we all return to being.